Sage Report Designer is a desktop application that has been included in multiple Sage desktop applications since 2007. It provides capabilities to analyze business information maintained within the Sage desktop software and includes a comprehensive set of tools that can be used to produce your own customized reports. Report data can be sent directly to a printer or generated electronically in multiple formats, for example PDF, docx, HTML, and TXT. One of the many features offered by Sage Report Designer since the original version was released is the ability to send a report via email, with the option that the emails can be generated as a draft rather than sent immediately. SMTP is one of the methods that the user can configure the sending by email to use, and historically this has used basic authentication with the user simply providing a username and password, which are then used to connect to the mail server and send the email with the report attachment. Following the deprecation of basic authentication for SMTP by Google and by Microsoft for their services, and as part of the modernization of Sage Report Designer authentication, we've enhanced the application to support OAuth flows to authenticate with the SMTP server. The OAuth implementation has been based on documentation and code samples provided by Google. As part of the implementation, we have created and registered an application with Google via console.cloud.google.com and generated a desktop OAuth 2.0 client ID for it. Because the requirement we have is the ability to send an email or generate a draft email, the scopes that have been added include authgmail.modify and authgmail.compose. Whilst the scopes include reading emails from the Gmail account, the Sage Report Designer application does not access, read, or delete any existing emails. The only thing that it does is to generate an email and save it to drafts or send it immediately as per user preference. It does not collect or record any detail from users' emails. In fact, no details at all are recorded except for the access and refresh token, which remain encrypted at rest on the desktop PC, and Sage UK Limited have no access to these. From within the Sage Report Designer application, the user can configure their email provider from the Tools Options menu item. The following dialog will be displayed. The user can then choose to configure SMTP, and a further dialog is displayed. From here, the user can choose their email provider, Google in this case, and then click Next. From here, the user can provide their email address and choose to authenticate with modern OAuth. Note that we do currently still maintain the option to use basic authentication, as other providers do still offer this as an option, and Google do support basic authentication using app passwords. At least it does at the time of writing. OAuth is the default and the option we recommend. The Find Out More link takes the user to a Sage Knowledge Base web page, providing further information about the changes to authentication and links to the relevant Google support pages. The user clicks the Authorize with Google button and are taken into their default web browser with the Google logon page loaded to initiate the OAuth flow. The user can log on with their Google credentials and complete two-factor authentication when enabled. The user is then presented with a warning page as the application Sage has registered with Google has not yet completed the verification process with Google. Once this process has been completed, the warning page should no longer be shown. The user is then presented with the Grant Access page, asking them to confirm access to be able to send emails. If the user is happy to proceed, they click Continue and are redirected to a success page hosted on the local PC. When returning to the Sage Report Designer application, the user will see confirmation that authentication was completed. The user can now click Next to see a summary of the settings, and from there, click Finish to apply them. The user can now choose to send a report by email from various touchpoints within the Sage application. For example, from the File, Email, Send with Current Settings menu item. The report is then generated as normal using the preferences set by the user for the file format and email content, and is sent to the recipient email address. To do this, the Sage Report Designer application connects to the Google SMTP server, and to authenticate uses the Access Refresh token established through the previously completed OAuth flow. As previously noted, the Sage Report Designer application only uses the scopes defined on the OAuth application to be able to create a new draft email or to send the new email. No other data is accessed or collected.